Hey there, it's been a little while since I've made something for this channel, hasn't it? Well, I recently found something that sort of reignited my passion for gear content, something that I'd never seen done before anywhere else. I was at the Guitar Summit in September of last year, and way down in the basement of the venue was one of the coolest brands at the entire show, and they were called Makeev Guitars. And they made travel guitars that folded in half with the strings still on. Not unheard of at first sight at all, but the way that they folded was quite interesting. Because unlike the well-known folding guitar companies like Ciari Guitars, whom I've exposed on my main channel for reimagining Chinese-made guitars as USA-made, these guitars don't fold in half at the 12th fret inwards, but instead at the neck joint is a hinge that folds it sideways so that everything is still facing forwards. And at their booth, I discovered something that I had never seen before, but always hoped would eventually exist. A full 27-inch scale 7-string that folds that same way. If you're a 6-string only player, you'll have absolutely no issue finding a travel guitar. There are very elegant solutions that have been around for decades and pretty much fold away straight into a backpack. But if you play 7-string guitars a lot like I do, and you travel a lot like I do, you've probably looked all over the place and come up with absolutely nothing. There do exist some travel solutions for 7-string players, most notably this one from an Amazon brand called Bat King. But what makes this travel-friendly is just that it's headless, and they also shrunk the scale length down to 25.5 inch, which is just 6-string Fender scale. Usable, but not really what I would go for if I was boarding planes and trains and I was driving places all the time, because all things considered, that thing is still pretty fucking big, and also it's just a shitty $400 Amazon guitar. So I got in touch with Makeev, who are from Kazakhstan of all places, by the way. Let's get the one Borat joke out of our systems real quick. They were really nice people, and a couple months after the show, a package from Kazakhstan showed up at my doorstep. My very own Makeev Shark 7 Standard. So full disclosure, I did get this guitar free of charge, and there is an affiliate link in my video description. However, I'm not being paid directly for this video, and all thoughts and opinions are my own as usual. I have never lied about any product that I have not enjoyed on this channel. I really just wanted to show off something unique because these guys have clearly worked hard to get where they are, and especially hailing from a country like Kazakhstan and trying to get their product out into the West. So let's get into the specs first. The Makeev Guitars website is extremely rudimentary, but so are their guitars. It's got a maple neck and fretboard, 24 stainless steel frets, what I assume is an alder body because of the wood grain, one humbucker pickup, one volume, output jack in the front, and a bridge that's quite interesting that we'll get into in a second. Now, the body shape will have had some of you typing up comments already, I'm sure. Now, bad dog, get out of the comments until the video is over. But yes, this isn't a Barsi Lorada body shape. Not exactly subtle, but it is downsized to about 50% of what an actual Lorada is, because those things are huge. But the reason they went for this shape with it, and pretty much every other shape that they offer as 6 strings, is because it's completely ergonomics focused. This shape is designed with a classical position player in mind, but it's also super comfortable to just play on your right leg. It's pretty much comfortable in every position that I've played it in, including standing up, because it has 0 neck dive. Like, seriously. None. I don't know how they did that, given how small the body is, and given that the neck is regular scale, but I think it might be because of this steel hinge block in the middle that kind of centers most of the weight, I don't know. Speaking of the hinge, here's how it works. The guitar is currently unfolded and tuned to drop G sharp. So now all I've got to do is turn it around, loosen this screw underneath the strap peg, and once that's loosened, it folds up without a fight. There you go. And now, if you'd like to squeeze in a hotel practice session, just unfold it. Hang on. There you go. Tighten the screw in the back again, and it will pretty much be back to tension, but of course the strings are going to be a little flat. It's not just going to return to perfect pitch. You can order these with fancier pickups, like they've made satin white versions with a satin white EMG and stuff like that, but generally this in-house pickup is perfectly fine. Any sounds in this video are using the Neural DSP Fortin Nameless plugin, and it sounds pretty fat with or without a mix. Now here's what might throw people off about a travel guitar that isn't meant to be like your main studio guitar or anything. The price tag. Because the 6-string version, the very basic one, starts at $550, the 7-string starts at $890. I say start because, like I said, you can have fancy finishes, you can have fancy pickups, and that drives the price up pretty massively, but what I'm holding right here is $890 plus shipping. But what that price buys you is a fully handmade in Kazakhstan instrument, no shitty imported wood parts or anything, and a fully proprietary hinge mechanism that you are not going to break unless you try to. And besides that, it's also legit a great guitar. This doesn't feel like anything else in the $800 price segment, or the $500 price segment for that matter, like an Epiphone or something. It feels like a premium instrument because actual craftsmanship went into it. It's just that Kazakhstan is a not so wealthy country, so it's not going to cost that much to pay for labor there as it is in like Germany or the US. They also do have 4- and 5-string bass options, as well as a shit ton of colorways, but let's get back to this bridge that I mentioned earlier for a second. If you deal with import headless guitars a lot, and I know that's a very niche thing to say, but if you do, then you will have seen this bridge before. I don't know what it's called, it's always just sold as a headless guitar bridge with tuners on it, but it always says licensed by KD Patent. You can find these bridges on eBay, AliExpress, Amazon for anywhere between 45 to 60 euro. Ert Guitars uses them a lot, and I've used it myself for my headless Gibson Les Paul conversion video. But this bridge has something a bit special about it. You thread the strings in from the nut end, and the ball ends basically stop them there, and then you thread them into the individual tuners like on a Floyd Rose, but this bridge comes with a tiny little crank that's used to turn the tuners more efficiently. Now, it's by no means necessary, but it just acts like a string winder on regular tuners and speeds up the process. This little crank is magnetic, and it will usually have its own little magnetic compartment on the side of a KD Patent bridge where it can sit when not in use. But that's on the regular 6-string version. There is no 7-string version of this bridge, and so Makeev pretty much buy them, take them apart, make a new base plate, and make their own. Now this means that if they buy 10 6-string bridges, they end up with 8 7-string bridges once they're done, and also a bunch of base plates that they can't use. But it's a super elegant solution, I love it, it works really well. The only downside is that the 7-string version now has nowhere to store the little winder, so you have to take good care of your shit. All in all though, once you've broken in a fresh set of strings, I couldn't really think of a better solution for this guitar concept, because it's meant to be as tiny as possible, so tuners sticking out the bottom here like any other headless guitar would be counterproductive. So I've been speaking very highly of this thing throughout the entire video, but what sucks about it? Well, nothing. I mean, I'm sure if it was my daily driver only guitar that I could ever play, I might have a thing or two to say about it after a while, but it's not that. If that were the case, I'd probably end up replacing the strap pegs with ones that fit on the Dario auto-lock straps, because that's easier. I might replace the pickup with a slightly fancier one, I might even replace the volume pot with one that's slightly faster and more lubricated, but that's all nonsense when talking about a concept like this, because this isn't meant to accommodate one gig or studio session after another. This is meant to be your travel companion, and for that it is perfectly fine. If you're traveling with this, a tiny USB interface, and a laptop with neural DSP plugins on it, you're fucking golden. This is meant for somebody who takes guitar playing a bit too seriously to just stick with a $200 Amazon guitar with a plastic frame for like a 2-week vacation or in the back of a van while playing local tours. So, thank you for watching, thank you to Makeev for making sure that I never have to travel without a 7-string guitar again, and I'll see you in the next video. Links in the description if you want to buy one of these.